I'm fit. Nah, shout outs to Hindu Man.
Wow.
You're my Kumba.
That was pretty rude.
He's cosplaying as it.
No.
Yeah, I swear to God.
Yeah?
Yeah. Hand to Kumba. On the record. All right, so D. So this is probably going to be my favorite part of this entire weekend, is getting your kind of opinion on the transition from JCOM and really just a lot of the players into the Xbox One and what you think about it.
All right, so TV started this, I want to play Xbox because I have nothing else to do. It's not that he didn't want to play PC anymore. He didn't make the Pro League, didn't feel like putting a new team together. He goes to Xbox just to play and see how he likes it. He already had an Xbox. He figured, why not? He meets Transonics, who is, at the time at least, the best player on Xbox.
Trans is still probably the best player on Xbox, I would say.
He's definitely up there, and this guy has never played PC Smite, ever.
Yeah, he's fresh.
He is 100% fresh.
And that is kind of crazy when you think about it, to be 100% fresh into Smite and and already be regarded as a top 3 team. Yeah. I mean, the learning curve of Smite is insane.
Yeah, you know.
First week I thought you could sell actives. That is not.
You can sell actives.
Not after you leave the well.
Yeah, no.
That got me good.
You know, the first week that we allowed you to sell actives, because if you messed up before, it used to lock you to it. The first week we allowed to do it, there was a trick that no one knew, and you could use it.
Oh, sell it and then get it with the cooldown?
No, well, even better is like, as long as you didn't leave the base, right, you could still sell it, even if you used it. So someone would go into the enemy fountain, pick up meditation, like use it as Hercules while getting his health back, right? He'll take 2 ticks if he's really fast, leave with full mana and now full health again because of mitigate wounds. Little tricks. We took that out, though.
Yeah,
why did we take it out,
Rest
though?
in peace, dude.
No.
You just want to be Hercules. So DM's whole claim to fame in the solo lane is, oh yeah, I built Mystical Mail. I'm hanging out. I'm really good at predicting people. Earthbreaker up. That's you. That's your whole claim to fame.
And dude, it was crazy because at the time, nobody thought the character was good. And they all thought I was a genius because I could land the 2. I'm like, yeah, it's really hard.
Wasn't it bigger back then, too?
No, I did it with the smaller one.
Oh, okay.
But
so this is after the nerf to it.
It used to be huge.
Like Hubwa Wave, huge length.
Pretty close.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to.
I didn't play him back then. That was all Lasses.
Oh, really?
Speaking of Lasses, the team that he has co-founded, Eager, we just saw their first game.
I loved it.
Eric Cougar and the boys ran through.
I can safely say, and this is something I never expected to come out of Bart, is the confidence in Jelly, right? Like, it's one of the things I kind of overlooked because I never really watched like support streams, right? Like, I mean, on Xbox that is, right? Like, Incon's the dude on PC, right? Incon's my man, but. On the Xbox version, I never really watched any of the support players, right? Sure. And so I was like, it's probably difficult, but it's probably a little bit easier for them as well. But then when I started playing the motions in my head, like of a Ymir blink freeze instantly, that's very, very difficult to do.
And on Xbox, if it lands, you are in trouble.
Yeah, it is. Because,
big time.
I mean, even just the ice carpet, right? It's like, damn it. It's very, very difficult.
Jelly, Eric Cougar are great. The star for me is Dwurst.
Yeah.
Dwurst is...
He is really good in the solo lane.
Solo lane is like the most contentious role on either side, PC or Xbox. Yep. It's always where a lot of the star players come. You're talking about Zalia, Maniac, Cyclone Spin, Divios.
The Divios, and now the reigning god of Omega, who's probably the best solo laner in the world.
Yeah,
right now.
I would say so.
And then, I mean, the only exception probably to the rule right now is you always have those instances where junglers actually carry the game.
Adapting.
Yeah, so you have, like, the adapting this season already. Then you had, like, I don't want to say Weekend carried the game at all, but, he's super initiation in Season 2. But when you look back at Season 1, it was like, Gars. This guy is just destroying everyone. And then Anninster's always been there.
Yeah.
Mechanically speaking, Anninster's probably the best PC player in the entire world.
Adapting, though.
I'm out of the loop there. I'm out of the loop there.
I can't wait until, because there's no way that Cloud9 doesn't make Worlds, right?
Yeah.
There's no way that Epsilon doesn't make Worlds. When they eventually fight off, and God, I hope this is true, it is going to be like my dream.
Yep. Well, anyways, boys, back into the Xbox One Smite action here. I'm just trying to catch up with DM. It's been so long.
It's the red and white versus the red and white.
Woo! There's Black and Elevate as well. Geb is going to be the first ban taken out here from Team Elevate, making sure that Vengeance just doesn't really have Geb.
No surprise.
Yeah, I mean, did really so well So safe.
I mean, one of the big things about PC is anything that hits in a 360 radius around the player is valued very highly because there's a limit to how fast your camera speed can go, which is why Hell is most likely going to be within the next 3 bands as well. But Geb's Cataclysm is one of the strongest abilities currently on the system. Now, Sylvanas also has something similar, but Sylvanas has no way to escape from fights. Kumbhakarna, on the other hand, this is a very expected ban considering the fact that they're going up against Wiggles. There's the Hell ban.
Hell, you know, I'm not 100% sold on the fact that Hell being as strong as she is all the pro players are regarding her. But you know, on Xbox, I understand it completely because the 3, or in my case, the right bumper, is the width of the lane, right?
So I think one of the big things to talk about here is that Kumbhakarna was a forced ban from Vengeance. Ymir is very highly favored as well. With that Elevate, picks up one of the top gods in the game. This is the god I think that's going to make it through the picks and bans most from the top tier, and that's going to be Sun Wukong.
Yeah, and Sun Wukong, he's so potent with the Bluestone Pendant, and a lot of the Xbox players aren't used to the second tick of Bluestone hitting, so they're aggressing and they're seeing the damage hit on the first second, and then they're like, oh, wait, I can now dive because I see how low he is, and then they take turret aggro before because the second tick actually applies from Bluestone.
Turret aggro is probably less important, actually, than the minion aggro. Level 2 is a real good chance from all solo laners to wind up dying to minions. We see this a lot in competitive play on both systems, both PC and Xbox. You see it in a lot in ranked games as well.
Yep, and Hercules is going to get picked up very early on here. Hercules really just going to try to not necessarily stalemate the lane, but really just try to catch Sun Wukong sleeping early on. If he can get a good Earthbreaker into Driving Strike into his minion wave, he's got a shot to take down Sun Wukong. But the problem is once Sun Wukong gets his ultimate, he's just going to get out of there for free.
Yeah, speaking of which, we have like this, what I like to call the cavalry, right? So Sun Wukong, his ultimate gets him out of the fight. While that's happening, you start calling the cavalry.
Gotcha.
Right? Janus rotating around the map through space and time. Athena's going to jump up into the sky with Defender Olympus. This is a really sound strategy so far, and as of right now, Elevate definitely has the better comp.
So here's what's scary, right? Vengeance going into this picks and bans has to ban Medusa here. They have to ban Medusa. There's no way you give Athena Medusa the combination, especially in the duo lane, on the Xbox One. You just don't.
The issue is, even if they ban Medusa, the next situation they're going to have to deal with is Neith. Right, Neith, Janus, Athena, with all those globals, you put a Thor in the jungle, and life is going to be pretty hard.
And the other thing, too, is that Vengeance really needs to like take a look at themselves and say, okay, what are we going for here right now? So we got a Hercules that does well, and we have a super hyper carry in Xbalanque, but we need to protect him to get there. So we draft a Hunbats to kind of help us in the early to mid game.
Okay.
But what's left on the table for them to grab to really cater to the Xbalanque early on?
Nuwa. Give him a little bit of help with that ultimate, right? Make sure that there's a little bit more control. I think Nuwa would be the best bet because Nuwa can also leave the fight, and they're going to need a mage that can protect itself. If they're going to be using Hunbats and Hercules as initiation, they're going to need their support to protect Xbalanque. The mage has got to be able to protect himself.
Khepri getting taken out here. It could be a Sylvanas. We could see him. Now, the problem with Sylvanas with a lot of these teams coming into this lane is that, you know, we had a problem with Sylvanas a little bit back where, you know, he was leaving his particles all over the place like a messy, stupid tree. And it was really causing the game some problems. So a lot of people probably missed out, like, you know, maybe 1 to 2 weeks of practicing with Sylvanas, which they might not feel comfortable using him. And as Poseidon gets locked in, I swear on my life, Poseidon should be, like, top 5 gods on Xbox One. I mean, Whirlpool, and plus with the Gem of Isolation mix, people can't get out of it, plus the slow turn on the controller.
Right.
And then guaranteeing the Kraken. I mean, like, Poseidon really should be the biggest contender on Xbox One Smite.
So there's Thor and Neith. Wow, they're going full. They're going full cavalry.
That is a beautiful, beautiful team comp.
This is the cavalry comp right here. This is Wukong goes in, and he has 4 people from anywhere on the map that are going to be able to save his butt. And this is a really big deal because if you look at the side of Vengeance, this comp is kind of skewed. It's 100% relying on team fights past 30 minutes. Their final pick must be something that's going to bridge their mid-game because Hercules can't do it alone.
Well, yeah, yes and no, though. I will say that Poseidon's definitely a god who early on is really just looking for a pick and to explode one person, right? He catches Giannis sleeping, it's like, woo! And so they now have Sylvanas. So looking at it, right, like, you got 3 circles, which is going to give Hercules time to kind of just get in there and set himself up. But Xbalanque has to be so careful in these team fights because if he falls through a portal, he gets Tiger Stunned, he's got Athena Taunt, he gets rooted by Neath. There's a lot of easy ways to shut down the Xbalanque in the team fight that if he doesn't have the right peel, which looking at it, he's got Driving Strike and Fear No Evil, but and like Sylvanas Root, but it's probably not enough, is what I'm getting at.
Elevate versus Vengeance. Vengeance has to play up here. Remember, they have 3 subs today going up against the top 3 team.
I forgot all about that.
They have 3 subs, and it's important to note that because, you know, if Elevate winds up running through this team, you know, you can't discredit the team 100%.
Exactly.
You can't say that they can't compete because it's not their full roster. It's not even close.
Not even.
Right?
Well, no, it's not even half.
But if Vengeance shows up and wins this game.
Yeah, then it's like, whoa, Elevate, what the hell happened? One thing to note as we hop into here, we had a problem with 2 of the Xbox Live gamer tags here on Team Elevate. So Achilles is actually going to be playing underneath Air Cougar. I'm assuming that'll be a question in the chat a lot, so I'll probably repeat it. But Achilles will be playing under Air Cougar, and Sarcasm will be playing under Zorpy.
Now, Onslaught had an amazing comeback in their first game, but fell in the second. It's going to be the first 3-game split that we see in this tournament.
Wait, what'd you say?
Onslaught lost game 2.
What?
After their huge comeback in game 1.
Say what?
I'm looking at Freakster Dave on this one. He's the solo player for Onslaught. Incredible player.
Yep. Well, let's go ahead and take a look at the starting items here as we will ride along here with Sun Wukong and his magic cudgel that, well, it's definitely magical as well as it's hurtful.
So I'm looking at Thor here. 3 potions, you're going to notice, plus the potion of Magical Might.
Yep.
That's going to equal out to 600 gold. You put that, of course, with the Bomba's Mask. That's 1,400. He has 100 left over. He opts not to go into any monopots.
Yeah. Well, he hasn't popped his red pot yet.
There's Gustavi. You might hear us a few times throughout the cast call. Gustavi Wiggles.
Yep.
Wiggles, one of the former players coming out from, I want to say, the enemy squad.
Yeah.
On
Gotcha.
On PC.
Well, we have a little bit of a game pulse here, but so as you can kind of take a look at it here, Hand of the Gods picked up on Hunbats. Now, like,
is he still in the base?
I don't think so.
He's still in the base. He can sell it.
I don't think he is.
Probably shouldn't have that.
So I know there's a brief moment where Hindu Man swore up and down that the Hand of the Gods was going to make a comeback. So the big change we're talking about here is Hand of the Gods before used to execute a minion, right? It used to execute the objective at a certain threshold.
25%.
Yeah, 25%, which is a lot. And the problem that we had when we were watching these gameplays is we were kind of like, you know, there's very little room for them to mess up with a 25% execute.
Right.
So
what would happen is, like, there was a 5v5, there'd be 3 people on red, 1 person on blue. The blue was the support, red didn't have a support, and they couldn't do Fire Giant.
Exactly.
That sucks.
And it just didn't feel good.
It didn't feel good.
And now what we're seeing is a lot more contention in the fights, and it's way more exciting. But so Hindu Man swore up and down that by getting Hand of the Gods early on, since you get like 1,000 damage under the camp, that you can sneak the early on Gold Fury. But now since the Gold Fury scales, it just hasn't made its plan there.
It's not worth it.
Yeah. So a costly mistake here, boys and girls. So as we come back on camera here in just a second, everything now makes sense. So there's one rule that we have. There's one rule. When you sit down at your station, you check your settings and you go, okay, do I have auto buy and auto level on? And if you don't do that, you end up with Hand of the Gods and Bumba's Mass on Hunbats. So all of that completely wasted just for me to throw Hindu under the bus.
Yeah. Yeah.
That, my friends, I have no idea what I'm doing.
All right, guys, we're going to cut to a quick break here while we get this situated and go back into the game. They'll be going into blind pick, so it won't take too much longer to get this started. Stick around.